Robert Kiyosaki, I'd followed him for quite some time. And then when I noticed that you and him did a 2-part episode recently about that, of course, I tuned in quick for that. That's one of my favorites there. But he gave you a little piece of advice there. And then I waited to see what you were going to do about David Icke. I see you went out, you put it up, the David Icke interview.
Yes. He did give me advice, but he said, it's better to be a peacetime leader. I'm just not a peacetime leader. So I can't be something I'm not. So, but I can totally understand different phases of life. When you're, a lot of times when you're, when you talk, a lot of time when kids talk to their parents typically are more worried about safety. And like, oh, be careful, baby. Be careful, baby. Be careful, baby. And they forget that they used to take risks years ago.
Yeah.
So now they're imposing their 50, 60-year-old self-fear onto the 20-year self-fear. So sometimes you have to know that even myself as a parent, I got 3 kids. I'm like, buddy, be careful, buddy, be careful. It's like, you did that when you were 6 years old. You did that when you're 8 years old. You can't really protect your kids from everything that they're going to do. They're going to make some mistakes. Their hearts are going to be broken. People are going to screw them over. They may get punched in the face if they say the wrong thing. They may get bullied at times. You can't go and tell a 12-year-old kid, you can't touch my son. I'm going to whoop your ass. You can't do that. They have to go through it themselves, right?
Right.
So there's an element of that. So when he told me that, I sat there and I said, where's the counsel coming from? Here's a man that's very successful. He's at a different phase of his life. He's gotten a lot of criticism for some of the views he's taken. And I'm at a different phase of my life. I'm at a phase where I don't mind getting in the ring and getting a black eye and, and I knew how I had interviewed David Icke. I didn't interview David Icke saying he's right, he's this. If you watch the interview, it's actually pretty heated interview. It's not like,
you actually took exactly right. You challenged him more than I expected, and it seems like more than your other guests as well.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people were expecting me to just sit there and validate everything as if everything he's saying I agree with. I don't. I just gave him the platform, and that's one of the reasons why till today YouTube never took our interview down, because YouTube looked at it and said, okay, you didn't just let him talk and say everything, you pushed him on everything. And I think that's one of the things YouTube is asking for from content creators.
I was thinking that same thing when I watched it, because I was wondering, obviously Brian Rose, lost his channel and lost that show with him, and he started his own platform just to be able to interview this guy. And then when yours remained, I looked at the difference, and that's what I saw is, basically the way you interviewed him was not more or less inciting others to think this way, but to share the content.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this short clip from our Patrick Bet David interview. If you want to see more like this, click right here. If you'd like to watch the entire interview, click right here.